I'm Tara Mergener in Washington. Toyota will take another step toward damage control this morning. The latest coming up.
The White House gives an official endorsement to carbon capture and storage research. This morning, one of the most active CCS companies reacts to that announcement. And Arnold Schwarzenegger wants to put people back to work, green work, home in California.
From the Energy News Center in Washington, D.C., this is the Energy Report with Susan McGinnis.
And good Tuesday morning. I'm Tyler Suiters in for Susan McGinnis. Thanks for joining us for the Energy Report on this 9th day of February 2010. What could be a major hit to the best-selling hybrid car in the world? 1 week after reporting brake problems in its new Prius hybrids, Toyota is now taking action. The company issued yet another major recall, now its third recall in less than 6 months' time. The problem this time around is regenerative braking, which capture the energy from brakes and then recharge the battery of the hybrid itself. CBS's Tara Mergener has the latest from here in Washington.
Toyota took another step toward damage control this morning, recalling more than 400,000 hybrids worldwide, including the 2010 Prius.
We will do everything in our power to regain the confidence of our customers.
Roughly 200 Prius drivers in the U.S. and Japan have complained of a short delay when hitting their brakes in bad weather or bumpy roads. Toyota says it will take its dealers about 40 minutes to fix the software glitch causing the problem. This latest recall adds yet another dent to the automaker's reputation. Toyota has already recalled more than 7 million vehicles because of problems with floor mats and sticky gas pedals.
Right now, everybody is sensitized to any possible defect in any Toyota.
Toyota will have to explain its recent safety troubles to lawmakers tomorrow. Congress will hold a hearing to find out exactly when the automaker and U.S. transportation officials discovered the problems. State Farm Insurance alerted the government as far back as 2007 about sticking gas pedals that caused sudden dangerous acceleration. Eager to reclaim its reputation, Toyota has launched its own investigation.
We will redouble our commitment to quality as a lifeline of our company.
Toyota's president says rather than panicking, the company's focus right now will be on fixing each recalled vehicle one by one. Tara Mergener for CBS News, Washington.
Elsewhere this morning, climate change has started, more is to come, and Americans are already trying to adapt. That is the message from Commerce Secretary Gary Locke and NOAA Administrator Jane Lubchenco. Yesterday, the pair announced the formation of a climate service within NOAA, a reorganization to make NOAA's climate research and forecasting more accessible to the public and businesses that are trying to plan long-term investments. But in the wake of the recent IPCC controversy, yesterday Locke and Lubchenco faced questions about their confidence in the scientific basis for some global warming claims.
It is important to recognize that the IPCC has thousands and thousands of conclusions about specific changes in the climate system, and that most of them have been shown to be quite reliable. The situation with the Himalayan glaciers was unfortunate, but it is quite atypical of the rest of the IPCC.
You can see Clean Sky's Margaret Ryan's entire report on yesterday's announcement from Lubchenco and Locke. That's right here on cleanskies.com. One added note, the new climate service will be led initially by Thomas Carl. He is currently director of NOAA's National Climatic Data Center. California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger says his top priority during the last year of his administration is to put Californians back to work, many of them working in green jobs. The governor was in San Luis Obispo at REC Solar yesterday promoting that plan. Schwarzenegger says he wants to give cash incentives to employers who hire the unemployed, waive sales taxes on purchases of green manufacturing equipment, and also give out tax credits.
This will reimburse companies in just like REC Solar for hiring and training unemployed Californians, because we want to put every Californian to work that is willing to work.
REC Solar has installed just last year more than 1,500 systems. That means not only a benefit to homeowners and businesses, but also to the people that are working here and have a very high stability in their jobs.
Schwarzenegger says REC Solar has grown from 35 employees back in 2005 to nearly 500 employees today. The governor's proposal still needs to be passed in the California legislature. Something of a rarity in the nuclear industry, Dominion says it is laying off up to 75 people at its Millstone nuclear power plant in Connecticut and will do so by April 1st. It turns out the company's buyout program fell short of its goal. A company spokesperson says fewer than 150 people signed up for this voluntary separation program, first offered back in January, but Dominion says 550 Millstone workers were actually eligible for this buyout. The company says that Millstone does now have more workers than it needs to safely operate that nuclear complex. Nuclear vendor Areva is getting into solar. The French engineering and construction giant has bought Ausra. That's a California firm providing large-scale concentrating solar power. Its technology uses mirrors to focus the sun's energy on water-filled pipes, which in turn produce steam for turbine generators. Purchase price for Ausra, which has yet to turn a profit, was not disclosed, but it's rumored to be about $200 million. Areva said the purchase expands its global low-carbon portfolio, which now includes nuclear, biomass, wind, and hydrogen. The company says its experience managing large-scale construction will let it build Ausra's technology cost-effectively. The U.S. carbon capture and storage sector now has what may become a major boost to its research and development. Last week, President Obama signed a presidential memorandum outlining a comprehensive federal strategy on CCS. This is a look at one of the country's leading projects, the joint CCS program at AEP's Mountaineer plant in West Virginia. Clean Skies News was on site there last fall. And today I talked with Bob Hilton from Alstom Power, one of the partners deeply involved in the Mountaineer project and a company conducting CCS work around the world. He says the president's endorsement should prove to be critical in future domestic CCS research.
We really needed to see what this task force creates, which is a focus and a sense of priority. You know, we're reaching a level where we're getting into the, I'll say, commercial projects. We're fortunate in terms of the CCPI, the Clean Coal Power Initiative, that Alstom has 2 projects under that, which will be commercial scale. But to drive these projects at that level, we need federal support. We need the government to intervene. It can't be done solely on private money, which is the way we've operated to date.
Hilton and I also discussed Alstom's progress on the joint CCS project at the AEP Mountaineer plant we mentioned in West Virginia. You can watch the entire interview with him later today right here on cleanskies.com. The Future Gen Alliance has now picked up another major partner for its carbon capture and storage R&D. Caterpillar has now signed on to the experimental CCS project in Illinois. The mining and construction equipment maker joins the project around a week after Exelon took part as well. That's the nation's largest nuclear generator. The project is still awaiting final approval from DOE, and the federal agency says finding more partners and cutting costs will help that process. Other major companies now involved in the Future Gen project include Peabody Energy, Anglo American, and Rio Tinto Energy America. With more than 1 billion people, taking a regular census in China is certainly a challenge, but now the world's top carbon emitter says it has completed its first pollution census. China's Vice Minister of Environmental Protection says the country has mapped more than 5 million sources of industrial, residential, and agricultural waste throughout the country. So now the country will use the information in its next 5-year environmental plan. But that information isn't being made public just yet. Officials say that will happen in the future, but no date has been given. Environmental groups, including Greenpeace China, are now urging the government to get that information out just as soon as possible. We'll take a look now at some of the events around the D.C. area on this Tuesday. First of all, 11 a.m. Eastern, AWEA, the American Wind Energy Association, is hosting a teleconference with Energy Industry Association leaders from the renewable sector. Again, that takes place at 11 a.m. Clean Skies News will cover that event. You can see an update later today here on our website. And then at noon Eastern, the Center for American Progress is holding an address by Todd Stern, the U.S. Special Envoy for Climate Change. He will, of course, be talking about what happened in Copenhagen and what lies ahead for the international negotiating process in Mexico City later this year. Clean Skies News is covering that event for you as well. And that is this Tuesday morning edition of the Energy Report. Thanks for joining us in the Energy News Center. You can reach our team here in Washington anytime at contact@cleanskies.com and follow along with us throughout the day on Twitter and Facebook. I'm Tyler Suiters. We're glad you're with us. You're watching Clean Skies News.